Welcome to the Jimbo Fisher call-in show. We are here at the Sheridan by 4 points, and by golly, it's time to talk Florida State football. I never thought 7 o'clock would get here, Coach, but here it is. It's Wednesday, and it's time to talk Seminole football. Number 2 in the country versus number 5. I guess that's where we start, huh?
Yep, no, it'll be a great weekend. That's what college football is all about, to be able to play in these games and do that kind of stuff.
2 unbeaten teams, and, you know, when a team hasn't lost a game, I mean, you feel like you can beat anybody in the country. Or is that the way it generally is, psychologically?
You better, anytime you line up, you better feel like you can beat anybody in the country.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But you have to play well. We know we got to play well to do that.
And when you have that 0 on the other side, every team you play wants to beat you and give you that first loss.
You're exactly right. You become everybody's season, the target of everything, and when you're up top, they want to be there. So you gotta keep defending those things, and but even more importantly, you got to be aggressive and try to go win another one.
Which brings me to last week, Florida State with that 0, number 1 in the country. You go to Syracuse, and Syracuse gave us a battle. I mean, we went down and scored our first possession, but those guys fought the entire season.
They were very physical. They did some nice things on offense to change it up. The quarterbacks threw the ball, made some really nice throws, popped a couple runs. Defensively, were multiple in their blitz packages. They've got a good football team. I mean, they battled. They played Notre Dame a great game just a couple weeks ago also. So they've got a very good football team. Coach is doing a great job up there, and they played hard and physical.
Jimbo, before we talk about Notre Dame, and we're going to have a lot of questions about Notre Dame, I'm sure. By the way, if you're in the audience, you have a question, right here's the microphone. Come forward and talk face-to-face. But before we talk about Notre Dame, go back to that ball game, a couple of things. A record-breaking performance by Rashad Green, 30 of 36 for Jameis. My goodness. And this young fellow named Dalvin Cook, he cooked up a 123-yard game. Those are 3 things that just stick out in my mind, plus 3 interceptions.
Well, just the development of our young players, Dalvin and Mario Pender. You forget Mario was having a tremendous game. He scored 2 touchdowns, had 50 yards rushing in less than a half before he got injured, was playing very well. Dalvin comes in, gets 123 yards, a big touchdown. And you don't ever know when it was in, and that's why the development of your young players, getting in, and you feel comfortable, and you don't miss a beat. And then, of course, you got Rashad Green. As I call him, he's our Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the class of everything and breaks every record known to man, wants no attention. And every time there's a big play to be made, number 80 seems to be around the ball somewhere making a play. I mean, and just an unbelievable player. Very blessed to be able to coach him. Jameis was outstanding. Nick O'Leary had an outstanding ball game, And then defensively, Trey Jackson up front. Defensively, 3 turnovers, 2 in the red zone, played tremendous red zone defense. Only gave up 2 field goals down there in the first half, got 2 turnovers, had a 4th down stop. I mean, doing a lot of really good things.
That was last week. 6-0. Seminole fans, we're happy with 6-0. 4-0 in conference play, and we are at the halfway point of the regular season and the conference season, sitting right there with a 0 on the end. And now we play out of conference for the next to the last time. We got Florida in the year,
yes.
But it's Notre Dame week. Can we talk about Notre Dame? I bet you've had a lot of questions about Notre Dame.
Just a few.
Just a few. Remember, we didn't talk about Notre Dame last week, did we? No, we talked about Syracuse. Ready for phone calls?
Let's go.
All right, let's take our first call, and it is from Jacksonville, but it's not Mike. It's Jim.
Wow.
Jim from Jacksonville. Go ahead, Jim. You're on the air.
In Jimbo, we trust. So, Jimbo, let me just tell you what an honor it is to have a man of such high integrity and character to lead this great university.
Thank you
are truly the leader of this university.
Thank you.
I just got a couple things for you. One thing is, I wish you'd go on that Paul Feinbaum show one time and set that man straight.
No, that wouldn't be good for none of us.
And that, you're a man of integrity and character, and you wouldn't do that. My next thing is, on a more serious note, have you thought about possibly maybe putting Jalen Ramsey back in that safety spot, switching him with Tyler Hunter? Is that something you thought of or no?
No, he does, and he plays there originally. But that nickel position for us as a blitzer and playing those slot receivers and being physical on the run is so critical. Actually, they're interchangeable in those 2 slots. They both can play that slot both very well. If you remember 2 years ago, that's where Tyler played a lot at that nickel position. But, it's Jalen's size and his length, and he's such a hard matchup. Those slot guys, he can get his hands on him to disrupt. That's where we feel he's the best. But you're right. He has the capability to play back there, and Tyler can be the slot also.
All right, Jim from Jacksonville, thanks for your telephone call. Mike is in Ocoee. Let's talk to Mike. Go ahead, Mike. You're on the air with Jimbo. Mike from Ocoee.
Hey, Gene. Hey, Jimbo.
You're on the air, Mike.
My question is, this team's proven this year that, if they get behind on the scoreboard, they don't panic. They just take it one play at a time. My question is, how what role, if any, did the national championship game last year play into this team's mindset? And then how helpful is it to have a mindset like that coming into the Notre Dame game?
Well, I think it's very critical. Anytime you play big time, you're not going to walk out there and just jump on everybody and run away with the game or get ahead. I mean, as I say, those guys are on scholarship. They've got coaches. Everything. They can hit you and stagger you. And when you're in a championship fight, you can't go in and expect not to be hit. You're going to get hit. That's why they're good. That's why it's a great game. That's why there's big time opponents. And to understand how to deal with adversity and to keep coming. And sometimes that's the most devastating thing, is to take somebody's best shot and look them right in the eye and say, we're not going anywhere, folks. We're going to be right here. And this team does have that capability. Now, we're learning to start better. We're getting better each time. But you're going to play in big-time games. They're going to get ahead. You're going to get ahead. You have to keep playing and doing those things. And it's a great characteristic of this team. It's always a characteristic of championship teams, any ones I've ever been around.
Okay, Mike from Ocoee, there is your answer from Jimbo. You got a question, 1-877-99-KNOLS, 1-877-996-6537. The state capitol, historic sites, great nightlife, outstanding restaurants, and relaxing hotels. Not to mention the Florida State Seminoles. To discover all that Tallahassee area offers, join us online at visittallahassee.com and plan your escape. Today, soon you'll be saying, I heart Tally 2. I say that well.
We got to get you fixed.
I heart
We got to get
Tally
you fixed.
2. The Jimbo Fisher Call-In Show presented by Naples and Infinity Life for 4 points by Sheridan will continue after these messages.